The news for the wrong reason. Again, this is supposed to be Nigeria's third force. Well, what seems to be a judicial pronouncement that ordinarily would have put an end to the intra-party leadership squabbles plaguing the party has further deepened, with 3 party members laying claims to the position of national chairman. Well, we shall beam a searchlight on the unending crisis within the Labour Party. Now, the Apex Court once again maintained its constituency that matters relating to party leadership are internal affairs over which the judiciary has no jurisdiction over. Now, a faction of the party led by Senator Esther Nenadi Usman approached the Supreme Court on the 2 previous judgments by the court and the Court of Appeal upholding leadership of Julius Abure. But in the unanimous judgments, the 5 justices of the Supreme Court set aside the decision of the lower and appellate courts, who recognized Abure's leadership. Now, the court observed that based on submissions before it, Abure's tenure had already expired. But in a swift reaction, Abure is still laying claim to the leadership of the party as the substantive national chairman. Now, this position is not enjoying the support of Senator Usman's faction, which claimed that the court's verdict will facilitate the permanent solution to the intractable party crisis. Nenadi Usman, in a statement, said this is not the time for celebration. There is no victor and no vanquished. What matters most is our shared commitment to the ideals of the party and the Nigerian people. We must now come together, united in purpose and vision, to move the party forward. That's Nenadi Usman talking. Now, as if these divergent views are not enough, a former deputy national chairman of the party, Callistus Okafor, has declared himself the new national chairman of the Labour Party. You will wonder, is a party chairman not elected during convention, or he is not elected? Well, it's really an interesting development. We shall play host to the 3 parties on the program tonight. Appreciate you for leaving your dial on this station at this time. Let's get to the discussion of the day. We're talking about Labour Party's intra-party disputes. What next after the Supreme Court verdict? I'm not here alone. I have here in the studio 3 gentlemen. Of course, we have Callistus Okafor, the former Deputy National Chairman South of Labour Party. Thanks for joining us in the studio.
Thank you for having me.
I also have Comrade Iragbe Anslam, the former National Youth Leader of Labour Party.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you for joining us. And of course, you will have a legal luminary among them. He is the legal advisor of Labour Party, Kehinde Edu. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much.
Well, gentlemen, we're going to have to, as government will say, hit the ground running. The Supreme Court, delivered a judgment today on the crisis plaguing your party. And, what's your understanding precisely of the verdict of today? I'll begin with you, Callistus.
Thank you very much for having me once again. It's a welcome development in Labour Party. At least the Supreme Court has put to rest this long-lasting situation in Labour Party. But I have not seen, I wasn't in the court, I have not seen this judgment. The only thing I have read is that which is in the public domain.
The news, okay.
Which are the public domain. That's what I read. So, haven't seen that and what I've gone through. Honestly speaking, the presiding judge still did not specify what to do. Because if you say you sack Julius Abure, what next? They still maintain that party crisis supposed to be settled internally, which is what I has been talking about since. Coming on the right table, sitting down, discuss our issues, and find a way forward.
All right. Okay, go on.
Now, with this judgment, my advice is, because Supreme Court did not say it must be this or it must be that. Okay. They have sacked and said it's the eternal problem of Labour Party. So now, my advice is all the party involved, and who are the people who has the constitutional powers to sit on this table, the members, the constitutional members of Labour Party.
All right,
Not
Callistus, just hold it right there. I'll come back to you, but I want all of you to share your thoughts regarding the verdict itself. Anselm, can you share thoughts with us, what your understanding of the verdict today is?
Thank you very much. Iragbe Anselm, the immediate past National Youth Leader of Labour Party. The judgment was a watershed judgment. It was a landmark judgment because it was in line with the rules of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court had maintained that the courts in Nigeria do not have jurisdiction over the internal matters, leadership issues and management issues of the party, like we saw. So today, first and foremost, on behalf of leadership, Senator Esther Ninadi Usman and Senator Dalit Iwokocha, Chairman and Secretary of the Labour Party, we want to say what the Supreme Court have done today basically has set the ball rolling in this country. So it is clear, there are no ambiguity. So we were elected from the convention of 10th June 2019. So our tenure lapsed by a fraction of time on the 4th of June 2024. So with effect from on the 8th of June 2024, with effect from on the 9th of June 2024, it means ideally there was vacuum. And vacuum are not allowed in leadership. However, the neck of the party, the National Executive Council, today we have only 9 subsisting statutory neck members of the Labour Party with the expiration of our tenure. Because the NWC was the last structure to have expired. And that expired on the 8th of June 2024. So meaning that Abure had no tenure as at the 9th of June 2024. So what the Supreme Court has just done today is to affirm what the obvious is.
Let me hold it, just hold it right there. Kehinde,
thank you.
You're a legal luminary. I don't know why I like calling you that, but it's just from the look of it, you look like you are experienced in the legal profession. But looking at it from, this is your jurisdiction, as it were. What's your thoughts regarding today's judgment?
Thank you. I was in court this morning. Most of the commentaries on the judgment delivered by the court are actually inaccurate, they are false, and they are misleading. Most of the comments that you have heard.
Misleading?
Yes.
Why?
The truth is that that court never sacked anybody. The Supreme Court never said Abure is sacked. I will explain to you. What the Supreme Court merely said was that the trial court pronounced on the leadership of the party. The Court of Appeal also pronounced on the leadership. What the Supreme Court said that, no, they shouldn't have pronounced. Whether anybody is chairman or not is not for the court to say. And that those two courts lack jurisdiction. And they should have left it and allowed the mechanism of the party to be in full force. And whatever the party has decided should be the leadership of the party. And it is also not true that the court set aside the judgment affirming Abure as Labour Party National Chairman. What the court said was that in the Nenadi's appeal at the Court of Appeal, the court said it did not have jurisdiction. And it should have stopped there instead of now bringing into focus a judgment that earlier affirmed Abure. It did not set aside that judgment. It only set aside the comments of the court concerning that. The situation today is that that judgment that affirmed Abure, that judgment in Labour Party versus Ebisheni and 2 others, delivered on 13 in November 2024, is still subsisting, is still valid, and is still in full force.
What does that now mean?
What that means is that there is leadership in the party.
And who is the leader?
And Barrister Julius Abure remains the national chairman of Labour Party.
Let's hold it there. Let's hold it there. I'm coming back to you now, Callistus.
Yeah.
You see, all of you subscribed to, upholding the ideals and the regulations of Labour Party. All of a sudden, there's crisis all over the party.
Yeah.
What exactly happened? Why can't you people agree anymore at this time? Remember, Nigerians were almost going to give a sigh of relief that, oh, this is the third force and all of that. What happened?
If you recall, from the onset of this crisis, I've been in front. Why? I've been the Deputy National Chairman of Labour Party South. And the Constitution of Labour Party says, in absence of the chairman, the deputy presides. Then, along the line that this crisis came in, And all of us, NLC, went to court and we obtained what they call consent judgment. That consent judgment until date has not been obeyed. Nobody has looked at it. I went to court on that. Up till now, that judgment has not been given on the consent judgment. Now, having said it, I want to let you know that whether anybody like it or not, Labour Party, we all witnessed in 2023, is not Labour Party today. And if we all continue like this, Labour Party will not see the light of the day in 2027. Everybody is claiming rights. A say it's him, the B say it's him. But for me, the best bet now, whether, like I said earlier, I wasn't in the court. I didn't know what exactly happened in the court until I see the certified proof copy of that judgment. When I see it, then I will know what to say. Whatever I'm saying here now is based on the journalist domain. Having said that, the court, what we saw is that Abure was sacked. Kehinde saying that he was not sacked.
Yes, but he says he was in the court. And he didn't say that way, but you were not in the court.
I wasn't in the court. That's why I'm saying that I can only say things I see at the corridors of the journalists.
All
so
right.
if Abure was sacked, what it means at this point, there is a vacuum. And I show you in Labour Party there should be no vacuum. When Abure tenure expires, let us be realistic. When a tenure of Abure expired, Abure, as the sitting national chairman, has the constitutional power to call for all-inclusive, expansive convention according to the constitution of Labour Party and according to the consent judgment, which he did not do. Rather, he took his own people to Newi and did what they did. Let me come to his distinguished senator who emerged in what do you call it, Abia State. These are people of like minds who came together and had a meeting of the like minds and called themselves National Executive Council. Now, who called the National Council meeting of Labour Party? Who? The Constitution of Labour Party says the only person that has the constitutional power to call the national conventions, national working committee, national executive council meeting is the chairman, the national chairman, call it acting or substantive national chairman. At this point, the people you saw there, I agree with my brother here. NLC president is a statutory member of NEC. Deputy, he's a national secretary, the TUC and co, and the sitting governor. Yes, they are. But do they have the constitutional powers to call for NEC? That is no. So for now, I will still say that it's good for everybody to come to on the round table and discuss the way forward of Labour Party. But for anybody to tell me, like I said, I do not know whether Abure was sacked or not. I was not there. What we see in the public domain is that Abure is sacked. If Abure is sacked to the Supreme Court, Abure remain sacked. And what it means that there's a vacuum because nobody will sit there. Nobody has the constitutional power now to sit there. If anybody should sit there, it's Callistus Jokafor.
I was just about asking you that. Now, yes. you quickly went to what the Constitution said, but can that take place without an election or a convention? Because, yes, you were the former National Deputy Chairman.
Deputy National Chairman.
Deputy National Chairman.
Yes.
And now you want to assume the office of the National Chairman. Of course, pending when everything else is resolved.
Yes, because constitutionally.
Just a minute, I'll come to you. Just
Constitution said, in the absence of the National Chairman, the Deputy presides.
Now that there is dispute regarding, the absence or the sacking of the national chairman, don't you think that it would be better, since you all want the